sense the space that you're in. That's why the presence is always available all the time, because there's the space we're always in. And you can you sense it in a way. You feel it, but not like feeling like this, but there's a feeling of it. Yeah? Yet it's not a feeling that comes and goes. It's always available at all times. So in a sense, it becomes the perfect place to rest or to have reliance. Yeah? Your mind can truly rest there. Yeah? Instead of constantly being agitated or getting agitated by its search not to be agitated. Yeah? You can rest. I mean, really rest, like better than 50 Thai massages. A relaxation that can just drop. It's sort of like what happened with me was, it would happen and it would be like this whole room, nothing would change, but it would just drop like 10 feet. So I could have, it was difficult to put a finger on it, but over time I realized, she's dropping a lot lighter in a sense, you know what I mean? And then, it's sort of like dropping down or the lens opening up like that, whatever way you want to see it, but the lens opens up. And as the lens opens up, all of you gets included. It's not like you keep opening up. The lens opened up, you don't. And then you are seen by mind. It's not like I opened up. No, it's like the lens opens up and you stay on this side of the lens. You're in the content. What? Isn't there an authentic me? No. That's the seeing. It can be bad news if you're a certain rigid posture. Well, self-centeredness, it may be really painful for a while. It may be uncomfortable. It will. But the smiles that will be evoked will be very long-lasting. You'll have a whole new comedy skit. Life according to Paul. It's hilarious. You won't have to wait for anyone to amuse you. You'll be amusing you all day. What more do you want? Shit. I want enlightenment. We don't even know what that fucking means. Do you? I don't even know. Did you ever do something that you thought you knew why you were doing it, and then one day, while you were doing it gets completed, but you're still doing it? That's how we're like. There's that thing in Disney World where they have a boat and they have about 5 steering wheels, and you get in and you go through a trip through the jungles, yeah. And if you make a right turn, or seemingly a right turn, then the boat rises up, and then you've been like a failure almost. And if you make the left turn and you just skirt the crocodile, I did it, yeah? But there's a big bar underneath that's running the whole boat. Everyone's thinking they're the captain, and no one's turning anything. It's all programmed. And they're getting guilty for making a mistake, or proud because they passed the crocodile. Isn't it quite like this? Really? Come on. I mean, but they get off the boat. We don't think it's the boat. We think it's real. We're in the perpetual amusement park, and it's not that amusing after a while. Yes, I shouldn't have done that. I did. The biggest hook I found I was on was me, really. I swear to God. If this was really me, there was going to be no rest until things changed. The mind's opinion of what it thought it was going to be up day and night working on it, going over it, critiquing it, judging it, convicting it, listening to pleas, bargains. It was never going to end. I would have to have a living therapist really in my whole fucking life. But when I realized it wasn't me, it could be let alone. Yes, with all of its little foibles, and just a much nicer way to travel. And it's just simply life is happening instead of life is happening to you. It's just a simple shift. of interpretation, not difficult to see because it's obvious life is happening. What's really difficult to keep believing is it's happening to you. Yeah. And life is happening. Yes.
This might sound a little weird, but I've experienced some of what you're talking about and being okay, letting go, so to speak. And but then a little while later, after I'd let go, I started feeling just, oh, geez, you know, am I letting go, or I just don't care? Or, and the mind starts going again.
Yeah, sure.
So what, is it just more letting go, or?
No, it's just seeing that you're not that. You're not the subject of the one who needs to let go more or isn't letting go. It's just a story that's trying to grab your attention. It is, yes.
Oh, I realize.
It's just coming. The mind runs an advertising campaign. If it sees you, it's like incredible. If it sees one little twitch, it just really starts blizzarding you. You know what I mean? It thinks it has an in, and it just starts beating that drum. Yeah. But if there's a sense of what you can, for me, you always can rely on, even the deepest confusion, people can talk about it incredibly clearly, right? Because the clearness of seeing was there. Even in your deepest depressions, I've heard some of the most incisive, like specific details of something that seems to be deep and murky. What's bringing that clarity to deep and murky? The seeing. That mind is unfailingly seeing at all times. So whatever's going on the stage and how much attention and interest is in the stage, it still doesn't change the fact that there's always the ever-present seeing. Yeah? That is what can be relied on. What's being expressed through conscious contact. Let that intimate that, yeah? Let your attention maybe entertain that. So when they're seeing, maybe just sense that, instead of immediately the claiming of it into see or seeing, yeah? Just start playing with it. More will be revealed. Yeah? And as soon as the percentage of the stock moves from selfing over to, let's say, from self-centeredness to centeredness, then the immunity grows. Yeah? As soon as enough attention goes that on this side, this thing only lives on your attention. Yeah? All the incredible dramas it makes, produces, is funded. You're the producer. It's fueled by your attention. Yeah. Yes? Yeah.
So is the shift from feeding attention to the phenomenal or what the mind's creating to being more just being what you are? I mean, isn't that grace? That is consciousness. That's like, where's free will then? If it gives their free will. If there's no self, then there's no free will, right?
Don't ask me. Find out. Seriously. I'm not going to be used for a pseudo-authority. I'm not saying you do it, but no. Just find out. It wouldn't matter if someone said it or not to you. What will matter is if you find out. Yeah? If you think you have that free will, exert it. If you believe you have free will, exert it. You know, see what happens. The finding out is so convincing, and then certain things will become, or no-thingness will become unspoken yeses, and absolutes aren't bad. Yeah? To have an absolute for the mind to anchor in is pretty damn good. Yeah? So to me, the unspoken yes is sort of like it reverberates continually. It's like it seemed to come over me at once, but it just keeps on reverberating. Yeah? In other words, it verifies itself by the living of it. Yeah? So find out these things. And the whole thing of like, you're not ceding your attention to anyone. There's no you that's ceding your attention. The attention is just following, like moths would follow lights, yeah? If the idea of being a self becomes the primary light of the conditional mind, your attention, like moths, will go there. And we're just saying, maybe that's just a bulb. Maybe it ain't the sun, it ain't the light of all lights. Maybe it's a bulb. It's a mental bulb. Can twist it out. Where will the moths go now? The attention will go somewhere else, yes? It's not you directing it anywhere. The attention will free itself from whatever it's like to me, my experience was this. It's like a homing pigeon. If it's going to go to whatever you believe to be you. If you believe you're expressed and demonstrated through thoughts and feelings and attention to them, that's where your attention's going. Yeah? It's not going to go to spaciousness. It's not going to go to quote-unquote spirit. It's going to go to mental activities and the interpretation of life. If that's what you believe, if you believe you're a mental idea, your attention's going to be in the mental realm. The mental realm interpreting feeling and this and that. The mental realm of the concept of the body, that's where it's going to abide and live in a sense. Yeah? But if you're not that, then you free the attention and then you'll see where it goes. And you'll find out, my experience, it went into nothingness. Because I believe it's more of nothingness than thingness. I think it's addiction, or it's being driven to that light of thingness, was like almost an addiction in a sense. When freed from that, it goes to more towards its own nature, which is nothingness, yeah? Whatever you want to call it, but you start sensing nothingness, or presence, or space, or whatever. Yeah? It's the attention that gets freed. It's not you. You're an idea in a mental process, yeah, that attempts to become the alpha and the omega, and then the attention serves that purpose because it takes it to be you. Yeah? The mind has fallen for that identification as, yes? If you're not that, the attention is freed.